Hello everyone. I'm not here so much speaking about a project I have or an idea as such, as I'm more here to give you my experience of what it's been like to study here and what my PhD project is and how you should take it into consideration in having any projects or ideas and in shaping this future vision for Latvia. So I am a PhD candidate right now at the University of Latvia. All my previous education has been in the United States or the UK. So if any of you are interested in maybe pursuing a PhD degree here in Latvia, I've almost figured out what the process is to apply, what the financing opportunities is, what you should expect. So if anyone's interested, you can talk to me. You can write your work in English, so it's no problem. So please see me if you're interested in that. Also, for about a year, I've been a member of the Central Election Commission of Latvia. And so if you have any suggestions or questions about the election process here, about all the referendums we have or the signature collections, or if you're also interested in hearing what we at the CVK consider the Nokia of Latvia to be, which we think will be this new scanning way of counting votes that we've implemented here in Riga. You can also ask me about that. But what I wanted to maybe tell you a little bit in detail is my PhD project. So I'm studying a sense of belonging to Latvia, and specifically sense of belonging within the context of integration. What I'd like to remind you of, because I think a lot of the Western Latvian big organizations tend to forget, is that Latvia is not a single Latvian nation. We're a multi-ethnic country, and the Soviet Union did change the population of Latvia, and this is something that we have to realize is the real situation and take into account. So the latest data is that 60.5% of the residents of Latvia are Latvian, where 26.6% are Russian. And if you calculate in all the other Russian-speaking post-Soviet country nationalities that we have in Latvia, that number becomes 35%. So we only have 60% Latvian versus 35% Russian speaker. And in Riga, the situation is even more complicated. In Riga, there's 42% Latvian speakers and 41% Russian speakers, with another 10% of Russian-speaking nationalities. So it's a complex situation, and in addition to this, we still have these non-residents or non-citizens, and those account for 13% of the population, or 300,000 people. So what I've been studying is how the Latvian integration policy is addressing these issues and how they hope to build a sense of belonging within these residents of Latvia. And the main message coming out of the integration policy of Latvia is the Latvian language and culture. That is considered the main vehicle for achieving integration and for achieving the sense of belonging. But in my research, and I'm looking at Russian-speaking youths in a 6-year time span, what I've really shown is that Latvian language and the frequency of use does very little to facilitate their sense of belonging to Latvia. What is important are many other factors, such as the economic and political context, such as their civic participation and political participation, and whether or not they can envision their future here in Latvia. But integration policy and Latvian politicians are consistently saying that, there's Latvian parties and Russian parties, and there's Latvian media space and Russian media space, but there's very little that is in common. So what I'd like to, but in the other part of my research shows that what happens if you keep telling people that they don't belong here, or they are not welcome here, or they're the common enemy that this Latvian nation is against, is they start identifying with Russia. And what happens when they start identifying with Russia is we see all these changes in their perception of Latvian integration efforts and how they start doubting their role here and their belonging here. And so what I want to say today is that, you know, as you think about these future projects and think about all these cooperations, is to not forget what the real situation here in Latvia is, and that you have to take that there are a lot of well-educated, liberal-thinking Russian speakers that should be included in shaping the future plan for Latvia. Okay, thank you.